All right, so the very first part of Unit 13, we were just going to rewrite fractions as decimals, decimals as fractions, so we're converting back and forth. This, the reason why I put it last is because we can do it pretty quickly, and we didn't really need it for the other following section. So, fractions. A fraction is the same as which operation? Nope. Division. A fraction is division. Okay, so fractions and division are actually the same thing, so we are going to use that. Remember, numerator is on top, denominator is on bottom, so that's just some labeling for you. And then we had two types of fractions. We have an improper fraction, which means there is a bigger number where? In the numerator or the denominator? The numerator. So an improper fraction means that the numerator is bigger than the denominator. And then what about mixed numbers? Mixed numbers have a whole number and a fraction. So mixed numbers have a whole number and a fraction. Okay? So, how do I write a fraction as a decimal? When I have a fraction, we are actually dividing the numerator by the denominator. So what we need to do is we need to divide the numerator by the denominator. So how many times does the denominator go into the numerator? Now, I wrote a note for you, and I want you to underline it, box it, circle it, star it, something. It is okay if the denominator is bigger. You do not always have to divide by the smaller number. Some of you are still having a hard time with this concept. Okay, 2 over 4 does not mean 4 divided by 2, right? 2 over 4 means we have 2 divided by 4. So my answer is going to be what? 1/2 or 2? 1/2. Okay, 1/2 and not 2. So we are dividing the numerator by the denominator. Okay, so how do I write a decimal as a fraction? So how do I go the other way? What we are going to do is we are going to put the number in the decimal. We're going to put the number in the decimal over its place value and reduce. Okay, so we're going to put the number in the decimal over its place value, so over 10, 100, 1,000. You know how decimals have tenths, hundredths, thousandths, millions, billions, trillions. Okay, so we're going to put whatever the number is over the place value, and then we're going to reduce that fraction, and that's going to give us a new fraction. Okay, some more information. How do I convert a mixed number to an improper fraction? I multiply the whole number. Now, we've already done this. I multiply the whole number by the denominator. And then I add it to the numerator. And then put a note next to it. Keep the denominator. So we take the whole number, multiply by the denominator, add whatever we get to the numerator, and then we put it over that same denominator. And we've been doing this, okay? So this should not be new for us. Okay, so example 1. Write each fraction as a decimal. So what I need to do is I need to divide 3 by 5. So that's going to be 5 on the outside. Goes into 3. So the bottom always goes on the outside. The numerator always goes on the inside. How many times does 5 go into 3?
0.
0. So then I add a decimal on inside and on top, and then add another 0. How many times does 5 go into 30? 6 times. So 3.5 is the same as 0.6. So example 2, we have 7 over 25. So that's going to be 25 goes into 7. How many times does 25 go into 7?
0.
0. So I add decimals and another 0. How many times does 25 go into 70? Twice, which gives me 50. And a remainder of 20. Add another 0, bring it down. Okay, 25 goes into 200. 8 times. We'll subtract that time, there's no remainder. So 7 over 25 is the same as 0.28. Okay. So example 3, what happens if the number is a mixed number? Okay, do I need to change it to an improper fraction? Actually, I don't. If I change it to an improper fraction, I'm going to be doing double duty. What does this 5 whole number tell me? It's going to be 5 point something, right? So let's just divide the fraction. So let's divide 2 divided by 3. So 3 goes into 2, 0, add decimals, and another 0. 3 goes into 20, 6, that's 18, with a remainder of 2, add another 0, we get 20 again. So what do you think is going to happen? It's going to be 0.6666666, da 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 da. So you can put the line on top, or we can round to 0.67. So let's round this to 5 on the outside. 0.67. So we rounded up. We put 5 on the outside because that's my whole number. And since it's repeated 6 all the way to infinity, we just rounded one of them up to 7. Okay? Example 4. This time we want to go the opposite way. We want to write each decimal as a fraction. So I take the number and then I put it over its place value. Okay, where is this 6 in? Is it in the tenths, hundredths, thousandths, tenths? So this is the same as 6 over 10. Well, not quite. Can I reduce that? I can. Both of them divide by what?
2.
By 2. So let's divide by 2. 6 divided by 2 gives me 3 over 5. So 0.6 is the same as 3 over 5. No. Okay, so let's try 0.55. Where is this one? Is this in the tenths, hundredths, thousandths, what? Hundredths. It goes all the way to the hundredths place. So this is going to be 55 over 100. Does that reduce? Yes, by what? By 5. So divide by 5 on top and bottom. Okay, 55 divided by 5 gives me what? 11. 100 divided by 5 gives me 20. Does 11 over 20 reduce any more? So 0.55 is the same as 11 over 20. Make sense? Okay. So will you try 0.02, please? Okay, what place is does this decimal go all the way out to? hundredths. So this is going to be the same as 2 over 100. Now that's going to reduce by what? By 2. So divide top and bottom by 2. 2 divided by 2 gives me 1 over 50. Okay, last two. We have number 7. Write each fraction as an improper fraction in lowest terms. We should be able to do this. We've been doing it. 2 times 4 gives me 8. 8 plus 1 gives me 9. This is going to be 9 over 4. Okay. Now, I want to, for example 8, there's going to be 2 steps here. I want to write each decimal as an improper fraction in lowest terms. Before we do any of that, we have to first write it as a mixed number. This is going to be my whole number, the number out top. So that's going to be 1 and 8 hundredths. Okay, 8 hundredths reduces, so let's reduce that first, and then we will make the whole thing an improper fraction. What is 8 over 100 reduced by? 2. There's a bigger one. I heard it over here. By 4. So reduce it by 4. So that's going to be 1 and 2 over 25. Now, our instructions ask to make this an improper fraction, so I need to multiply 1 by 25, which gives me 25, plus 2 gives me 27 over 25.